You might be wondering why a vision for a relationship matters. Love alone isn't enough. Are you two both using the same roadmap on that journey to relationship success?
Hey, it's Cullen
And Elitia, your favorite relationship coaches at Love Works Dynamically with over 15 years experience in relationship building. And today we are talking about a topic that's going to separate partnerships that drift from those that thrive. A relationship vision.
So today we're breaking down how to align your goals as a couple.
You might be wondering why a vision for a relationship matters. Love alone isn't enough. Are you two both using the same roadmap on that journey to relationship success? Right. Vision is important for a thriving relationship.
And that vision can be comprised of a bunch of different things. You better know that you're going to the same place. I'm going to give a metaphor. Your partner's vision for the build is a rancher, and yours is a 4-story mansion, marble mansion. It's going to be some problems. So we're telling you, get real clear about what the definition of what you're building, your goals and your aspirations. I'm telling you, this is not going to end well. Just assuming that the two of you are going to be aligned, that we've seen that it's never going to go well.
And so as love leaders, our members don't guess and they don't go in and hit those walls like Cullen even named. Our members get the roadmap to relationship success at the beginning, right, so they can know that they're moving and hitting these milestones along the journey toward mastery. You don't want to guess in a relationship, because if you have division, there's no unified vision as division, then you're going to look up and it's probably 2 or 3 years later. And it's because you all didn't do this work proactively to confirm that you both have a shared vision, both have shared goals.
Nothing is more important than knowing what your goals are first. I mean, if you do that, you're 50% there. Now you have to go and get acquainted with your partner's goals, but you have to first start with yours. Yeah. And then that's going to do many things. That's going to help you actually be able to focus on when you're veering off course. Yeah. And it's also going to help you see when there's potential problems down the line, where there's misalignments. Yeah. So this is super, super important to do that.
Relationships are an active practice. Love is an action word, right? It's a verb. And so oftentimes we hear people complain about what they get and how they are in relationships, but we know, and why we created the relationship profile is because it helps you ground in what your vision is first. We don't want you passively saying, oh, I can't find what I'm looking for, or it's not out there, it doesn't exist. Wait, have you taken the time to get grounded and prepare your personal vision first? Have you done your profile? Because it's not another person's responsibility to guess or assume or hope they're going to eventually hit the bullseye on your vision. Yeah. You have to be clear. What is your vision for healthy love?
Yeah, you have to be seeking them as much as they're seeking you. And you also have to believe that person exists out there. Yeah. Because your mind, you can't outrun your mind. If you believe all the good men or good women are gone, then I promise you that's exactly what your mind is going to go out and find evidence for.
When we work with our clients, step 1 is the beliefs practice. You're going to do that beliefs work with us. Step 2 is clarity. You're going to do the profile. Those two hand in hand are step 1 and 2 for a very, very specific reason. There are a ton of help-resistant complainers, people who would proclaim that they want help and they want healthy love, but they don't one, believe it, or 2, want to do the work to clarify exactly what they want. And that's why when you work with us, that is your step 1 and your step 2. Your beliefs are going to be crystallized because you can't outrun them, and they will sabotage all of your plans. Then 2, you're going to get clear on your vision for healthy love so that you can pursue exactly that with a focus. Now that you know your own personal vision, we are going to talk about what does that relationship vision look like?
So these are some questions that you can ask yourself. What does our relationship maintenance look like?
3 weeks, every 6 months. Remember, courtship is a temporary, but it's a year long. So there has to be some maintenance checkpoints in there.
This can be different for everyone, but I can tell you this. First of all, life is an ongoing thing. And so your relationship is an ongoing thing too. So you have to think of it that way. It's less a destination. It's a journey. Like if you're one of those people that's like, hey, we've been together 7 years, you pretty much have pitched your tent there. and life keeps going on, and your relationship's going to keep evolving. You're going to keep evolving. And if you're not growing with it, you could be stuck at that 7-year mark.
So ask yourself, what does our relationship maintenance look like? How do we handle life situations? Like if someone loses a job, if a partner gets sick, if a parent of a partner gets sick, how do we handle? Do we have to move states? You get an offer at a different place. Another question you can ask is, what are our wants and needs and dreams 5 years from now? Like those are very specific questions, so that vision, that relationship vision, that partnership could come together. You all could go deeper in this courtship stage.
One of the best things you can do to create a shared vision is to check in with one another regularly. And the reason why I say this, you might think, oh, this is common sense. Maybe common sense, but you'd be surprised. Most people check in during conflict.
Yeah.
And it's so unfair to you because you're doing more things well than you probably not doing well. But if you only check in during conflict, it's going to give this
false read.
It's a false read. It's going to seem like we're only bringing attention to the negative. And to be honest with you, that's fair. If you're only meeting during negative times, you're only going to hear negative reports.
Yes.
So it's important that you check in with one another regularly. Check in with how well you're doing. Ask the questions that you may not want to hear.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, these things are going to reveal a lot of things. Start by asking the things that you're doing well, and then ask about the things that they feel that you can improve on.
Yes.
You can even ask them to be gentle.
Yes. Start with this shared vision. You want a relationship vision. So check in with one another proactively, not during conflict. Ask about how we're doing with our finances. How am I doing as a partner?
Yes.
How is our family planning going? Am I doing well with conflict? Do I turn into a monster? Is it Jekyll and Mr. Hyde over here? How am I handling personal growth?
Right.
Do you see any development in me? How this is what I see in you? Our wellness and mental health. Are we checking in one another, or even on mental health and wellness? Some of these things you cannot see in your partner, so it's important to have these conversations to see if you all are working toward a shared vision versus division. And so we're inviting you to do this proactively at regular checkpoints in your courtship.
Right. The beauty of this, the beauty of these check-ins is that you can get whatever you're looking for. You can get the qualitative data or information that you're looking for. You can ask about now, and you can ask about how you want it to look.
Yeah.
And that's super important, because everybody that's done relationships well have committed to being ever evolving. Yeah. Because your relationship is going to call for different things in different stages of your journey. Just something to be aware of.
You're not the same person. And so having these conversations for your relationship shared vision is important, because what you are planning financially for your 20-year-old self, 30-year-old self is different from the conversation you're having about, wait, what are we going to do with our finances when we want to retire? When we want to go send our children to college? When we want to not send them to college and start a business? Those are very different conversations. So it's important to check in about where you are right now in your courtship, but also be thinking ahead.
This is something I need you to take in consideration. Just like you don't need your partner to be perfect, your alignment doesn't have to be perfect either. They can
wait. Say that again. Let me hear that again.
Just like you don't need your partner to be perfect, your goals don't have to align perfectly either. They can still coexist. This is why the conversations are necessary.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna grow. Your needs are going to change. Your wants are going to change even. Some of those things aren't going to they aren't going to leave you alone. You have to honor those things and be as honest and genuine as you possibly can.
That's the most important foundational point.
Yes.
But there's also this opportunity where oftentimes people ignore the asterisk part, where our goals clearly don't align on things that are not negotiable, that this won't happen over time. If I genuinely wanted children and we are courting, and you know that, I know that, you know that, I keep reinforcing that, but you don't want that, then it's time for that honest conversation, because that's not a metric that's going to move.
Right.
We can't say, okay, our goals don't align, but we're okay with that. No, we're telling you factually that resentment will set in.
Yes.
That need and that yearning for you won't go away.
Right.
If the conversation around those asterisk areas like children or living places or how you raising the children, those are metrics that won't move. And if you and your partner don't come up with alternatives to feed that need that you have, conflict will sit right there, and that's going to be the age of your relationship. So it doesn't matter if you've been talking about this conversation for 7 years, 8 years. The moment that it did not align is going to be where your relationship will be stuck at.
It's stunt the growth. That resentment is real. It's just, to be honest with you, I'm never in favor of negativity in any way, shape, or form. But I understand it. If someone said they wanted kids and you said that you were on board with it and you weren't.
Yeah.
I mean, all types of manipulation and lying or any of that stuff, all those things those are grounds. I mean, anytime if your relationship is based on lies, you don't have a relationship anyway.
Yeah.
And it's one of those few times where we say, it's a no-go. You got to call it.
Because working with our clients, what we do is we help them identify that what they've established is what we call a hurt timeline. That date of when those goals then align, and it's not an area that's flexible, is the beginning of the hurt timeline.
If it's not done honestly, if you didn't come clean and tell somebody about something, and you cause harm here on that date timeline, it's going to play out over and over and over again. There will be more hurt coming behind that because you've been harmed, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to harm this person, and it's just going to keep going back and forth. And that's an awful thing to introduce into the cycle of your relationship.
Yeah, courtship is where the hurt timeline usually starts, but it's usually around when people don't have that shared vision, the relationship vision. The work wasn't done, the work isn't being checked in on, and when they are using a metric and dishonesty that's not really flexible. It's a non-negotiable, and they're not being honest about it. It's okay if you're not doing this perfectly now. Listen, at When Love Works Dynamically, we encourage the 2 to the 7 power method. As a matter of fact, we want your check-ins, the check-ins that we talked about, to happen regularly. Don't go past 2 months, right? That check-in has to happen. Don't allow date nights to go past the 2 weeks, like where you haven't had that time with your partner. As a matter of fact, we build in our international couples retreat every 2 years because we know things have to happen on the 2s and they have to become habitual. It's okay if you're not doing it perfectly now. Again, we have clear milestones and practices and experiences in place for people that work with us. And in the meantime, until you work with us, just make sure you are doing this relationship vision work and you don't go past 2 weeks. You're checking it every 2 months. You can get on track to make this a healthy, thriving relationship.
I just want to say that this is my little asterisk for that, the 2-2-2 method. That's a system that doesn't really work for me, but I understand why it works. It's one of those things, it's like a net that keeps you from hitting rock bottom.
Yeah, it's a system for you not hitting rock bottom and only checking in around conflict. And so that very regimented 2 to the 7 power, while it's regimented, and people like Cullen, who's a creative, don't really, that structure, but it is a foundation. So you're not only checking in with conflict. You have these regimented and loose times that happen to building that habitual practice for you to have a strong foundation.
That's exactly what I was going to say. For creative people, they're more impulsive and they want to do things that are more creative and more organic. So don't let this discourage you. This is just there, like I said, as a backup. So when you're free falling, this will help you find you find your grip again, and you can start to express yourself in a way that's more genuine to the way you show up. So if you didn't know, we also do free consultations. Make sure you sign up.
And you could always meet us in the membership on the Love Leader Lounge the first Tuesday of the month. See you inside.